Now from the Centurion. You there, secure the door. I'm now a fugitive for the last 3 days. But I was invited here by John and Mike and Matthew. And some women, too. They offered me sanctuary here. I don't know if you could save me from the authorities, but I do feel welcome here. It's been an amazing 3 days. I can't believe it's happened myself. So much has happened that I've written down this account so that I get the story correct. You might want to tell the story later yourself. I was a centurion. I commanded a Roman century, which is about 100 soldiers. Discipline and efficiency depend on centurions. One of our historians said, centurions are not bold or adventurous, but are leaders, steady and prudent of mind. They don't take to the offensive, nor start fights wantonly. We centurions are not paid to be creative. We're paid to follow orders, hold ground, and die rather than surrender. I've survived 20 years of campaigns, maybe 30 now. Gaul, Britain, Germania, and now here in Judea. I rose from ordinary soldier to least centurion, and now Primus Pilus. Yep, Primus Pilus. More than any Latin boy could ever hope or dream to attain. I was first centurion of the vaunted 10th Legion, an executive officer of the chief tribune. The symbol of my office is the vitis, or vine staff. You know, many centurions are mean and tough. Tough guys like Lucilius. Yeah, Lucilius, he used to use his staff to beat his soldiers. He'd beat them bloody. He'd break the stick over their backs. And he'd scream for another staff, just to continue the beatings. You know, it wasn't very prudent of him, though, because his troops finally took all they could take from him, and they killed him in a mutiny. Now, I don't use the staff that way. Well, I don't use it that way very often, anyway. I lead by example rather than violence. I'm the first over the wall or through the gate. I'm first to charge at the enemy. You know, I think I made Primus because, well, I outlived all the other candidates. And here I am. You know, not every day is exciting to be a centurion, you know. You got training and you got drill. You got more drill after that. And then, well, I got the supply office to take care of too for the cohort. And I also have the additional duties of executions. ordered by the procurator, and that's where the story gets complicated. Pontius Pilate, the procurator here in Judea, and as y'all might know, his main palace is on the Mediterranean coast. But at Passover, he always moves here to Jerusalem because there's always trouble with the Jews at Passover. They riot over the cost of sacrificial goats. There might be a would-be Messiah claiming to be the Jewish king. Yeah, we put up crosses on Skull Mountain, just southwest of the city. It's a place the locals call Golgotha. During this Passover, I think we hung up about 3 or 4 dozen troublemakers. In years past, it was in the hundreds. So this is kind of a slow season for us. We thought we were done, and then there was just one more before the Passover Sabbath. One more bloody parade, and then we could be off to take some vacation time. And then I saw his face. In a flash, it took me back to Capernaum. As you know, this Judean campaign is fairly quiet. So I brought my family and servants to Sepphoris, about 4 miles west of Nazareth. And so while on leave, I could be with them. I'm close to retirement, so I should get to know my family again. There's never enough time. Most of the slaves I have are back in Italy, working on my farms and orchards. But we did bring household slaves with us to Sepphoris. One had been a tutor for me as a child, and he no longer really seemed to be a slave, more like a member of the family. But soon after we arrived, he became deathly ill. He was paralyzed and in great distress. There was nothing we could do. We were very upset about it, and seeing how upset we were, another slave came to me and told me, he said, this fellow Jesus, who's in Capernaum right now, they heard, the slaves had heard that he could heal people from all the diseases and injuries. And I had heard things too. So I thought for a moment, I really don't have anything to lose, so, if my superiors questioned me, I'd just tell them that I was gathering intelligence, After all, they were already suspicious of this fellow from Nazareth. He's talking about the kingdom of God and such, and, the emperor, he has interest in anyone mentioning kings other than himself. I found him at a house in Capernaum, and I said to him, my servant is dying. But Jesus, he's really warm and kind and welcoming, and he said to me, I will come to your home and I will cure him. Now, that I was not prepared for. For I couldn't have this fellow at my home. That would really make my superiors nervous, wouldn't it? So quickly thinking, I used a humility approach. I looked down and I said, but I'm not worthy to have you come under my roof. And then he said, speak the word, and he shall be healed. Can you imagine me, a centurion, being so humble to a fellow I could order executed on the spot? But years have taught me gentle words open doors faster than an iron fist can. As I waited for his answer, he turned to some of the followers and he was talking about faith. And then he turned back to me and he said, go, let it be done for you according to your faith. And that was that. I shrugged and I headed home. As I arrived home, my faithful tutor met me with a smile. He was not only alive and upright and well, but as far as I could tell, he was well since the moment Jesus spoke to me. After that, I tried to keep track of Jesus, and I knew he had recently come to Jerusalem and for the Passover, and he'd been here earlier in the week, and there had been some troubles at the temple. And then he was gone. Until that moment that I saw his face. Jesus had been convicted of treason and sedition against the Roman Empire. There's only one penalty for those crimes. Final destination is Skull Mountain. We had a standard procedure for would-be kings. We dressed the prisoner in imitation royal garb. We used red robes so the blood and such wouldn't show through the clothing. We affixed a thorny crown to their heads that add to the pain. The enlisted men, they applied the lash and jeered at him. Hail, hail, your majesty. Often spitting on him, or worse. You know what? Sometimes I would even join in on that. But not today. Not today. They tied him to a post. They beat him till the bones began to show through his tattered skin. After that, he was too weak to even carry his own cross. We forced a fellow in the crowd to carry the cross. Then we crucified him between two others on the hill at Golgotha. I knew what he could do. And I waited for something to happen. For a while, the sky was very dark, and I suspect that there might be some divine intervention. But mostly he just died. As he drew his last breath, however, things did begin to happen. There was a bit of an earthquake that shook the hill and rattled the city. There was talk of tombs opening up and the dead walking around. You know, I don't know about those things. But I know something did happen to me. I had watched this man die. Maybe the best man that had ever lived. But I had this feeling that something else, something more, something incredible was happening before our eyes, and I knew we hadn't seen the end of this. And then the words came out of my mouth. Truly, this man is the Son of God. That was it. That was the end of my military career, and more. Every Roman knows that God has but only one son, the emperor. I said was treason, and I knew it. Before my men could recover from their shock, I dropped my helmet and sword. I melted into the crowd. I sent word for my family to flee and for my slaves. And my slaves said I could stay here for a bit with them in hiding. It's been 3 days since he died, and I hear strange stories. Some say his grave was empty. He's been seen walking in Jerusalem. I'm not sure about those things, but it might be true. But whatever has happened, I know this man is God's son. I need to know more.